All right, one last video for today. Been seeing a lot of questions and a lot of confusions on adding and subtracting polynomials, and it's just because of the wording, okay? It's not because you're not understanding what you're doing. So I'm going to go over a few of these examples and make sure we keep a few things straight. So make sure you understand the goal is to add and subtract polynomials, okay? So here's your first question. And I want you to try it on your own first. It says E is 6c squared minus 2c minus 1, and F is negative 4c squared plus 7c plus 5. And it says find E plus F. So take a second, pause the video, see if you can find this out. So hopefully you've had a go at it. So I'll go ahead and write it over here. So since E is 6c squared minus 2c minus 1, and I'm trying to find E plus F, and F is negative 4c squared plus 7c plus 5, then we've got this. We've got 6c squared minus 2c minus 1 plus negative 4c squared plus 7c plus 5. So first we have to add those two polynomials. So the parentheses, it's just a 1 in front of it, and there's an addition sign between, so they're really not needed. It's just to show you that you can group those two. So that first part was E and that second part was F. And so now what we want to do, essentially what adding and subtracting polynomials is combining like terms. So I've got 6c squared and negative 4c squared. So 6 minus 4 is going to give me 2c squared. So I'm just adding the coefficients. So 6 plus a negative 4 is positive 2. Then you've got negative 2 plus 7. So 7 minus 2 is going to be 5c. So if you use a calculator and you add negative 2 plus 7, you're going to get 5c. And then negative 1 plus 5 is going to be 4. And that's it. That's all you have to do for adding and subtracting polynomials when you see an addition sign. So it just gets a little harder from here because of the wording. So hopefully we'll get a subtraction problem next. These are the problems that really trip people up because they don't understand which direction and which way these should be in order. So I want to give a little bit of an aside. If I say subtract 5 from 17. If that's our goal, it is not writing that first number first and then subtracting. Okay? That is not what this is asking. It's asking you to take the furthest number, 17, and then subtract 5 from it. So subtracting a number from another number means you're taking this number away from that number. So you have to switch them. So a lot of people have been getting this problem wrong because they're not understanding that 10a squared plus 3a plus 25 goes first. These I would package in parentheses, and I'm going to go over why. So 10a squared plus 3a plus 25 goes first. And then you subtract 9a squared minus 6a plus 5 from it. So you've got negative in front of this parentheses, so that's a negative 1. So this is understood to be a negative 1 anytime you see a subtraction sign between anything. So this negative 1 is modifying this entire parentheses here. And then over here you can understand anything in front of a parentheses, you can understand that to be 1. So since this is negative 1, it's going to distribute to every term. And then since this is 1, this is going to distribute to every term. So 1 times 10a squared becomes 10a squared. 1 times 3a becomes 3a. And then 1 times 25 becomes 25. So there's really nothing to do here. Once I distribute that 1, it really hasn't changed the problem. But this negative 1 will switch all of these signs, and then I can add using by combining like terms. So when you're subtracting two polynomials, what I typically do is distribute that negative so I can keep the sign straight. So I've got negative 1 times 9a squared is negative 9a squared. Negative 1 times negative 6 is positive 6a. And then negative 1 times 5 is going to be negative 5. So now from here, I'm going to combine like terms. So 10a squared minus 9a squared is a squared. 3a plus 6a is 9a. And then 25 minus 5 is going to be 20. So let's check that answer. And we got it. So if you take a look here, it's really just keeping things straight and understanding what the problem is asking. Okay, so you'll get one like this as well. It's going to be the exact same. So A goes in place of here, put it in parentheses, and then B goes in place for B here, put that in parentheses. This negative here will distribute to every one of B's terms. So it'll be like adding the opposite of B. So once you've got that, this should be a cinch. So I hope that helps. I hope that wasn't too much of your time, but take it easy.